Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's video. Change of plan, big change of plan guys. I basically filmed a big clothing haul, still on my camera, all good to go. I will be, showing you guys that in next Thursday's video, but this Thursday, I changed my mind with a bit of help from my mum because I've had a rough few days. I haven't been feeling myself, and I've been feeling the effects of lockdown. I think the last few days I've been on and off throughout the whole time, and I think this is completely normal. I think but I just think from what I've heard and what's been brought to my attention, I think that I would like to have a serious conversation with you all about just some aspects of lockdown that I feel have negatively affected some people. And I don't want this to be a sad video, I don't want it to be a negative video, I want it to be taken positively, and I want it to be a space that we can all talk about our problems and that we can kind of come together, because it can be a lonely time, and I'm very lucky. I've been surrounded by my mum and dad who are just amazing, but I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat about some things that I think need to be talked about in lockdown. So the two topics of my choice for this week are mental health and body image. Both are very separate but also very similar in their own rights. I think I'm able to talk about body image more, so I think I will start with body image because I feel like that's something that I can talk about more in depth. But I also think mental health is something that my mental health has been affected during lockdown, not in a positive way. I know it's different for everybody. I know some people have probably come out of this thriving, and that is amazing. That is so good and so powerful. But I want people to know it's also okay if you don't feel like your mental health has improved over this time, because seems to be this pressure that we have to emerge from lockdown and suddenly be happy with everything. Happy with our bodies, we've been exercising, we've been self-caring, we've had all this time. But it's okay if you feel like you haven't, and that's not said enough, I don't think, at all. And it's okay if you decide to spend this time in bed, eating ice cream, eating cake, rather than doing all these workouts. But it's also equally amazing if you decide that you want to use this time for change. Both sides of that spectrum are very admirable, and I think that people need to be aware of that. But I'm going to start with body image because I feel like that's something that I can go into a substantial amount of depth about, because I think the main thing that I've noticed over lockdown is that it is very easy for me to sit here and say to all of the people that are watching, you're perfect, your body's amazing, you're strong, you're powerful. But I've always found that watching things like that and seeing things like that, it doesn't really change my mental state. It doesn't really change my perspective, and I'm seeing so many things on body image, which is amazing. It's so good that people are finally, actually embracing this conversation, and I think it's amazing. But I think it's really difficult because you might see, somebody who seems to have their life together, they got themselves sorted out, they're exercising every day, but they might not be happy with their body. And I think that's really important to note, because you could watch this, for example, and you could see me, and you could think, she's sorted herself out during lockdown, she seems really happy, and for the most part I am. But I think it's important to know that for me personally, I've always been considered quite tall and quite skinny, which I know a lot of people have the desire to be really skinny. But I think some people probably think, oh my god, that she's must be completely happy with her body all the time, and that isn't the case. I, just as much as the next person, look at people on Twitter, on Instagram, I think, oh my god, I'd love to look like that. The girls with like that perfect hourglass figures, and I have struggled. I think lockdown for me has brought things to my attention that I don't necessarily want to think about. I think had it in my head for such a long time that I needed to work out every day, like all the time. I needed to do like an hour-long workout. I needed to be getting in shape, and I've kind of thrown that out the window now, to be honest, because that doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is waking up one morning and thinking, right, do you know what, actually, I could proper enjoy a workout today. I could get up, I could put my gym kit on, and I could enjoy it today, rather than literally thinking about exercising all the time, because that's not a healthy relationship with exercise. It's not. And if you enjoy working out every day and it makes you feel happy, then you should do it. But you should only do it. Only work out when you feel that you need to work out. You know, that you want to, not need. Sorry, that was a silly thing to say. That you want to work out, because it's so easy to fall into this. You know, this idea that lockdown you should be exercising all the time, because you shouldn't. You don't need to. You know, there's some amazing plans out there that are promoting health rather than changing your body. But I think lockdown, I have been thinking about those things quite a lot, because I think when you're put into an enclosed environment, you don't have any distraction from your thoughts. You sort of you're in this enclosed environment and you don't have anything to take your mind off those thoughts, and that's when they keep coming back. And I think I obviously can't offer personal advice to everyone watching this, but for me, I've been trying to fill my time with stuff that is acting as a distraction, because I think that's the best thing that you can do. So I've been reading. Reading for me has been like an absolute saver. It's just been amazing. I've literally read about 6 books, and I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Completely understand that. It's not everyone's thing, but really getting your head into a good book can just take away days. Like, it can literally, like, I read a book last week and it literally took away the week. I just think now and I think back to what I did and I was like, I just read. So I am going to, in a later video, I'm going to do a book haul. Not a book haul, but like a book recommendation, because I think it's quite good. I think it's a good way to take your mind off things, and if anyone's interested in, you know, getting into that, then I'm here to help you. But I've also been quite enjoying focusing on things that wouldn't have had the chance to. So I've been learning French. I'm not very good, but I've been learning French. I got the app Duolingo. I don't know if anyone knows what this app is. It's got a tiny little icon. Let me just get it up. It looks like this, okay? And it's really good. I found it's been a saviour for me, because in the evenings, if I'm just getting to that point where I'm starting to feel down, I'm starting to feel a little bit tired, a little bit angry, then I just switch it on and I get my notebook out and I just make my notes on Duolingo, and I think it's brilliant. It's consumed some of my time, and you're getting something out of it as well. You know, you're learning a new language. It makes you think about all the places you could travel to in France. You know, it makes me feel positive. So that's a few of the things that I've been doing. But in terms, sorry, I'm kind of going off the point here about body image. But I think the only thing that I can say to you on this particular topic that has worked for me is that your worth and who you are as a person should not be determined by how you feel that you look. Because it doesn't matter what size you are, and I know that it doesn't go in when someone tells you this, but like whatever size that you are is completely irrelevant to you as a person. Like, you're no better or worse, you know, on your body shape. Like, I always grew up thinking I was really lanky, you know, haven't really got many curves, to be quite honest with you. But I've sort of been caught in this trap between I need to maintain being this small, and I need to make sure that I'm working out, getting that bum, getting those hips, you know. And I think it's a vicious circle, and once you escape from it, I think your life becomes a lot more peaceful. So I think you just need to be healthy. Healthy is better than anything, better than any stereotype or shape, you know. Being healthy is perfect. You know, eat what you want when you want it to make you happy. You know, if I want cake, just have some cake. Do you know what I mean? I know me saying this to you won't necessarily change your thinking, but it's just little steps, like not thinking about all the things that you've eaten in the day. and it can make a huge difference. And don't get me wrong, I do slip back sometimes and I take some steps back, but it's all about getting yourself back on the right track, getting yourself back into a good place, and that's what counts. But in terms of the second topic, mental health, I think everyone has been affected in different ways during this time, and as I said previously, I've never sort of been diagnosed with any mental health issues. I've had my phases. I've gone into some bad places sometimes and had a few bursts of like anxiety, but I've certainly never had to go to a GP about it, and I think, I have struggled in the past, and I think that anyone who is in lockdown at the moment, we're all being incredibly brave, every single person, because it's completely new. It's taken away things from our lives that we didn't expect to ever be taken away from us. Sort of like the core things, things, for me, I'll just list a few things. Some of these might sound really silly, but for me personally, things that have changed. Obviously, I can't see my boyfriend and my friends. That has been a massive sort of punch in the gut, because I literally filled my life doing those things. And it's been really hard, but I think in that respect, for friends and family, and obviously can't see my nan, can't see my grandparents, and that if I sit and think about it for too long, that I would just be in tears all the time. But I think communication is the best way to overcome that. But also, I think it's important to respect the lack of communication. If somebody doesn't want to speak, like some days I could happily just not speak. I think that needs to be respected. And it doesn't mean that they love you less as a person, it just means that they need some time for themselves, and that is absolutely fine, and I think that's really important to note. But other things, I was meant to be doing a driving test. I never actually booked it in, which in this respect I'm quite grateful for. But I was pretty much ready to pass my driving test, and that's been taken away from me. I can't actually go out and practice either. I know that's a really small thing, and probably very much a first world issue, but that's something personal to me that I feel has made me quite sad. It has made me quite sad, because I was so determined, and I think that has made me quite sad. But also things like school, something that's completely normal to you. Every single day you go to school, and that sense of routine, all of these things can input into negative mental health, and I think that the best way to overcome these things is just, in my personal opinion, is to look towards the future. Start to plan things in your mind. Think, right, okay, I can't do it this summer, but possibly next summer I can do this, this and this. I can go on holiday, I can, go away for the weekend, I can really grasp my education again, and you've got to look forward. And everything that isn't happening now isn't cancelled, it isn't gone, it will happen. If you've had a birthday, it will happen. The celebrations will happen after this, and once you kind of get your head around that, I think you can begin to get excited about things that are going to happen. But it is really difficult, and I want people to realise that it's okay. You don't have to be alright all the time. You don't have to get out of bed and at 8 o'clock and want to suddenly be doing everything. You can just be yourself. You can just be in your own space, doing whatever you want, and that's alright. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You don't have to be productive during this time. I think the best way to look at it is that this is a good time to just look after ourselves. Get healthy. And by healthy, I don't necessarily mean exercising, I mean get healthy. My eating routine was appalling before lockdown, so, I'm getting back into that, eating good stuff. Talking to people, reconnecting with old friends. I've done that quite a bit through lockdown, and it's literally made this experience so much more enjoyable for me. Making plans with people I haven't seen in years, and I just love it. And just work on yourself. Self-care, it's really important, and self-care doesn't just mean face masks and having baths and stuff. It means actually thinking about yourself. Just you. No one else. Just yourself. because my stomach's rumbling, because you're really important, and you should use this time. You have nothing else to block that vision. Just focus on you. You know, do things that make you feel good. But I know that I can only talk from personal experience, but I think everybody has done so well to get to this point, because never in my life did I think that I would be stuck inside for God knows how long. Like, I think it's been like 12 weeks nearly. That is just a crazy thought, and I think we've all done so well to get here, to get to this point, and I think the best thing to do now is just look forward, look to the future. It won't be long now. I think we'll be out of this pretty soon. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I know it was a little bit deep, I know it's a little bit sad, but we've got to talk about these things. And I was having a bad day, and I thought, do you know what, while the feelings are fresh, let's pour them out onto here. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and thank you for being amazing, subscribing, commenting, liking. All these little things just change how I feel all the time, make me so happy. But yeah, so there'll be a clothing haul next week, something a little bit more light and bright. But I hope that this has been good. If there's anything that you would like to add, obviously I don't have too long to talk on the camera. If there's anything you'd like to add, please comment, DM me, message me, anything you want to do. I'm up for a chat with anybody. So thank you for watching.